We're gonna give you the perfect pathway to big shoulders, and we're gonna start right now. So the main purpose of this video is that we're gonna give you warm-ups that you can do to prime your shoulders, to get them to move really well, to lay that baseline foundation of strength. And then we're gonna work you through all the way up to those big time high performer shoulder exercises that will help you get those boulder shoulders and a ton of strength. So for starters, let's go over the deltoid. Okay, we got the anterior deltoid all through here, then the medial deltoid through here, and then the posterior deltoid all through the backside here. These are three groups of fibers that are extraordinarily strong and play a massive role in the stability and performance of your shoulder. And then that second key muscle group is going to be the trapezius, okay? In the fitness realm, we'll see upper, middle, lower trap, or we'll even see trap 1 all the way down to trap 3. The trapezius is really one giant muscle group, okay? And the key part here is that if you want to yoke, if you want to look like you have no neck, if you want to have those shoulders that come up to your ear holes, that's where the trap comes in and plays a massive role in stabilizing your head, stabilizing your neck, and making sure that your yoke is absolutely massive. And then finally, we're gonna have those supporting muscles, okay? The supraspinatus, infraspinatus. We're gonna have the teres major, teres minor. We're gonna have the levator scapula that gives you that weird knot feeling sometimes when you turn your head and you're doing an incline bench, or if you're sleeping with too many pillows and you sleep really weird and you feel like you can't move your neck. That's typically gonna be a tight levator scapula muscle. And along with these supporting muscles is gonna be the rhomboids. They play a massive role in that shoulder girdle and that shoulder girdle stability. So again, we got the deltoids, we got the traps, we got the rhomboids, infraspinatus, supraspinatus, all the way up to the levator scapula. These are all the key muscles that you're gonna need to use and train to make sure that you get those swole shoulders. Now, to make sure that our shoulders are performing as well as they possibly can, I'm gonna give you two of the best shoulder warm-ups so that you can really prime them and get them rolling. All right, so that first shoulder exercise, this is an incredible movement that you can use to wake up that upper back that's absolutely phenomenal for sports performance and for general fitness, okay? This is something that we use with our throwers, with our weightlifters, with our football players, our wrestlers, but also for older people who just need to get a little bit more mobile in that upper back because they have poor posture. They sit behind a desk all day. And this is gonna be using our Powerlastics, okay? Available at GarageStrength.com. We're gonna have our mobility band, or we can use our strength band here. I would probably not use our HAF band because it is pretty freaking heavy. So we're gonna hook this up to an immovable object, okay, here. And now I can do this where I can wrap like this. If it's a little bit too hard, you can wrap it here and it'll be a little bit easier. The main goal now is I'm gonna get into a quadruped position, okay? So I'm in this plank position here, kneeling. All right, I'm gonna put my hand over the band and I'm gonna rotate this over and then I'm gonna come through and squeeze at the top, okay? And I wanna do like 3 to 4 reps here, rotate over, squeeze at the top. I'll do 3 to 4, and then what I like to do is slowly work away from that position so that I have more tension and I start to feel it in my rear delt, okay, in that posterior part of my delt. And through my rhomboid. When I'm in this position here, I'm gonna feel it in my rhomboid, and I'm gonna come through and squeeze, okay? Oh, come through and squeeze. And we like to do 3 sets of 12 on each side. Now, remember, this is a great warm-up. If we do the first set with the mobility band, second 2 sets, if you're strong enough, you work into that strength band. I pair this with the next unbelievable exercise, which is going to be dumbbell external rotations. So this is a position where, let's say I do my left arm first, then my right arm with the kneeling T-spine rotations with the band, okay? Then I wanna do my right arm first. I'm gonna rest about 30 seconds. And the main focus here to ensure that stability is to have a really, really controlled eccentric, okay? Really, really controlled eccentric. And then good tension coming back up. So we're gonna be here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then boom, back up fast, okay? Now, I've got a 30, that's relatively heavy. What you could do is start with a 10 or a 15 pounder. If you're a pitcher, if you're a wrestler, if you're a shot putter, this is an absolutely great movement to ensure that stability, okay? Boom, okay, back up. And you're gonna start to feel a nice pump in through that entire glenohumeral joint. Nice. ball and socket joint where you're gonna get a nice pump, down slow. Boom, one more. Boom. The crazy part with dumbbell external rotations is that as that lift actually improves, you're gonna see your bench go up, your pull-ups are gonna go up, and any crazy shoulder pain that you have, if you have a little bit of stiffness there, do like a 10 or 12 second eccentric, and over a couple weeks, it's gonna get rid of any tendinopathy. And these are movements that we use inside of our app, Peak Strength, as warm-ups to help you guys wake up, get a little bit more stable, and a little more swole. Now, we did the warm-up, so after we do the warm-up, we gotta get into that next level of performance, okay? This will take us into isolation. This isn't how I would set up a shoulder workout, so I wouldn't do that isolation movement first. I'm sort of taking you through the rankings, okay? So in that isolation, we're gonna look at how can we isolate just the delts, or just the traps, or even to a point, just the rhomboids or the supporting muscles. So that's gonna take us into that next key exercise. All right, so that next key exercise, we're gonna be isolating the deltoid, okay? And this can be really, really hard because based off of where our humerus is to our trunk. But if we change the angle of our trunk and we change what we're doing with our hand and the relationship of our arm to our trunk, that's gonna help us isolate and lengthen a little bit more. And this is a movement that I think is actually phenomenal for developing the shoulders of youth level athletes as well as elite level athletes. I think oftentimes we try and shy away from bodybuilding movements with younger kids, but if we build those deltoids really, really swole and really, really strong, that helps them as they age. It helps them if they're swimmers, basketball players, football players, wrestlers, anybody, baseball players, okay? So I'm gonna show you right here, we're gonna do 5 sets of 9 and then 1 crazy drop set. And I like to use this handle here, okay? So I'll go with a little bit of a lean away here. Now, I'm already feeling tension in that deltoid right here. I'm getting that hand back past, almost past my right glute. That's lengthening the range of motion and it's gonna have a longer strength curve. Then I'm gonna come up all the way out here, okay? Ooh, yeah. And then when we get to the top, we wanna really squeeze that medial delt. Oh, yeah. Again, you gotta do both sides. I would start with that weak side first. Maybe you do 2 or 3 sets with that left side first, and then you do 2 or 3 sets with that right side first. But really try and feel as we get past that hip, right here, that left hip, I wanna get a nice stretch, 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 boom. Okay, so it's like a dumbbell front raise, but with that cable to really lengthen and give you those big deltoids. So we lengthen the medial and the anterior delt when we were doing the cable raises. Now, how can we actually lengthen that rear delt, okay? And that's where the Powerlastic comes into play. Again, it can set tension here, and this is gonna be a standing power raise, okay? A standing banded power raise. We're gonna hit here, a little bit of an angle, okay? And I'm gonna come all the way across and squeeze, okay? All the way across and squeeze. It's gonna be a lot of rear delt, rhomboids, okay? And try and get a really good squeeze here at the top. I like going 4 sets of 17. Now, let's see how many power raises I can do in a minute. Are you looking for a strength training program built specifically for your needs? It's not feeling too bad yet. With our app, Peak Strength, you'll get workouts built specifically to your sport, your needs, and even your equipment. You know one thing that really annoys me? Way too many people go into the gym and just do random workouts. Peak Strength is periodized specific to your peak date. You can also do this with dumbbells. If you're not sure about how much weight you can use, Peak Strength will tell you. Another cool part about Peak Strength is that maybe you hate doing power raises. And if you do, Peak Strength will even suggest the best alternative that you can use to change that exercise. It even has a rest timer. Whew, damn. Start that free trial today, 7 free days of training. Now, off of those last 2 isolation movements, who wouldn't want to get a bicep pump while we're doing some type of shoulder work? I would. So that takes us into our next exercise. This is going to be a trap raise. This is like my dad's go-to when we were growing up. He would always say, if you're gonna wrestle, you gotta have big traps. And this is where that trap raise comes into play. We're here, okay? And we wanna get a nice shrug and a little bit of a curl, okay? Shrug and a little bit of a curl. This is gonna train that upper trap. It's also gonna train the levator scapula, a little bit of the rear delt, and of course, the biceps. 3 sets of 25. get an absolute dummy pump throughout the entire arm and upper back. Boo, 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 boo. Okay, now the next 2 exercises. Remember, we had the warm up, then we went into those isolation movements, then we went into the trap raises. Now, these are the last 2 movements that are gonna be the best bang for your buck. They're gonna be high performers. They're gonna lead to a ton of high threshold motor units and also get you as strong and as big as possible. So that first exercise here is going to be a pin press. And I like to put it just below my chin, okay? And this is absolutely phenomenal for somebody who has shoulder weaknesses on the bench press. You get set here, boom, up fast. And I even like to think about, I like to actually try and retract, okay? Retract in my shoulders, okay? So if I retract right here in my scap, okay, that's gonna bring my elbows under the bar, drive up. One more. This is a movement that I have used for absolute years. This is something that I remember reading back in the day from Anthony DiTillo. And if you look at our Garage Times videos, all the way back to 2008, 2009, you can actually see us doing pin presses while we're sitting on folding chairs, which was pretty stupid. But we're gonna superset that with meadow swings, okay? So let's say we do 4 sets of 6 on the pin press, where we go 6 reps, come over here, we'll go 12 meadow swings, okay? Now, I like going on the meadow swings just here, almost on like a straight line, okay? More rear delt, rhomboid, upper back, okay? A little bit of traps, okay? So we'll go 12 here. Now, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a trick, is that if we're doing those sets of 6, those sets of 12, okay? Now let's say that we're over there and we do a set of 15 to 20 reps on the pin press just to get blasted, okay? Get nice and pumped. We're gonna come back here on the drop set on the meadow swings like this, okay? We can go, let's say 15, 17, 20 reps here, and then as you start to fatigue, you're gonna be absolutely trashed in the rear delt and the rhomboids. You can start to throw in a little bit of bicep movement here, okay? And that's gonna get those rear delts even more along with the biceps. So it's one of those drop sets that, oh, this feels good. It's one of those drop sets that I like to use because I can build up over time. I can do shorter range of motion first and then bring in some more muscles later on. Or we can even target with that upper back movement here and the biceps here, do those for 17, and then just add those swings until you feel like your arms are gonna absolutely be trashed and fall off of your shoulders. Yeah. Remember, we started with those warm-ups, then we led into those isolation movements, and then we gave you the 2 best bang for your buck shoulder exercises, the pin press and the meadow swings. And if you want an entire boulder shoulder workout, check out this video. If you want help with your overall programming, you want a personalized AI that helps you with your periodization based off of your peak date, click on the link down below, head over to peakstrength.app, the Google Play Store, or the Apple Store. Because remember, freaks, if you guys want to become champions, you've always got to cultivate your power. Peace.